The emotional intelligence has several parts to it. The first part is like, what am I feeling? And a dear colleague of mine, his name is Tom Miller. He's a chemical dependence counselor. He and I have a little business together to work doing interventions for people and families with drug and alcohol problems. That's a little aside thing, because some people with schizophrenia or chronic psychosis or bipolar and psychosis also have substance use together. So in Tom Miller's program, he has identified 6 feelings. So if you remember in kindergarten, first grade, elementary school, you may have a box of crayons to draw a coloring book with only 8 crayons. Well, now we've reduced it to 6. So the 6 feelings are mad, sad, glad, afraid, ashamed, hurt. So it's very simple language. So the adult man in America, and even on YouTube, I hear about it now, but decades ago in residency and medical school, I learned this word called alexithymia. And one of the schizophrenia websites, those little audio websites that are on the website that you and I have created, the Schizophrenia Care Project, there's some little audios. One of them is about alexithymia in part. And that's where the person, usually a man, doesn't have any words, no language to describe their emotional state. I'm pointing to the gut here because usually you feel like, oh, I've got a gut feeling. The emotions. And then the words up in the brain, there's no words. So it's called alexithymia, no words for their feelings. And oddly enough, this has become more common knowledge. At first, it was 40 years ago, kind of like secret knowledge only a few people knew about. Now, more people are learning about it, but it's still a real thing. And that's the basis of EQ, emotional intelligence. First, you got to figure out if I'm mad, sad, glad, afraid, ashamed, or hurt. So the mom and dad really need to identify that within themselves as the leaders in this system of the parents and the adult child with schizophrenia. And that way they can better modulate and modify and work with their own feelings. So the mindset and attitude are very important. The attitude is going to be something more cognitive and more thoughtful, like I'm a person that has these kind of values. I'm a person that believes in XYZ. I'm a person that has these things that are important to me. And identifying their values is going to be another part of the exercise. And then working to understand them. Again, the homework will be their self-analysis. So indeed, I would be working with my win-win situation with my other psychiatry colleagues to identify families where the mom and dad are even open to the idea of looking at themselves.